sit tight. And sorry for people that like Stacy's mom, but I'm gonna have to pause it. Hello and welcome to day number 23 of StarLadder Season 6. And this is day number 23. We only have 27 days in total, so we're reaching the end. And therefore, for Alliance, this could be the game that will decide if they go to Kiev or not. Because if they win this, they will indeed be qualified to go to Kiev. iCCup having a bit of a tougher time. They have to win basically every single match that they still have in order to still go. And then hope that some others will lose theirs as well. But we'll see that, and when I say we, I don't just mean you, the viewers, and me, but I also mean the caster squad that we have. It is K-poptosis who is providing you with all the stats that you need. You will not hear him, but you will see what he does inside the game. And of course, the person that you will hear is my co-caster for today. It is Vykromond. Welcome back.
It's good to be back, Sheever. I'm excited for this game. Alliance, a fantastic team, considered by many people to be one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. But in the last week or so, they've looked mortal. Still really, really strong, but not completely undefeatable. And so we'll have to see what iCCup can bring to this.
Yeah, they are a team that is known for upsets. They are a bit of unstable in terms of performance, though. Like, you can't really, like, if you see Alliance, you think, it's a strong team. They'll probably be able to put up a fight against any team. And lately, it is also the case that they just win almost everything as well. Even though yesterday I believe they lost to Fnatic. But yeah, iCCup, you never really know what they're going to be up to for today. And we see that they're already up against a Lifestealer. Now we still have a Gyrocopter in the pool, so we might see iCCup picking that up. And they actually pick up the Magnus and the Gyro. Of course, denying that Magnus to Alliance is a great thing to have. We have got the Treant, the Nyx Assassin, the Wisp, and the Bedrider getting banned out as well. So let's see what Alliance gets together with the Lifestealer. There's still plenty of Nyx Bomb heroes in the pool.
Yeah. This is very much a, so far in this draft, it's very much an old meta lineup, so to speak. You have these four heroes that were basically the four most popular heroes before the patch, and here they are still being very, very popular. Even though there were some changes, these heroes are still incredibly strong. And of course, Alliance, with a somewhat non-traditional approach to these first bans, Nyx Assassin, not a hero that usually gets banned in the first ban phase. Same thing for Treant. Treant, a hero that's usually only banned against DD and not against any other team, but he has been gaining more and more and more popularity and more currency as a support, so it is interesting to see him debuting as a ban for teams that aren't DD.
Yeah, and one thing that I actually found interesting today, and I'm sorry that I'm going to take it away from K-poptosis, but Statsman Bruno actually tweeted this out this afternoon. Since the patch, so 5 days ago there was a patch, 88 different heroes have been picked or banned.
Yeah, that's really, really, yeah, I mean, that's a large portion of the Captain's Mode pool.
Yeah.
I think that's the most diversity we've had since, I think February, there was a period in which, or maybe early March, there was a period in which teams were experimenting very, very heavily. And there was every single hero except for one in the Captain's Mode pool actually got picked in this 1-2 week period. Can you guess which hero, though?
No.
So if every single hero except for one was picked, which hero do you think it would be?
Huskar.
Yep, you got it!
Boom!
It was every hero but Huskar, and so Huskar now, of course, is not in the Captain's Mode pool. He's been exiled while he undergoes heavy surgery, basically.
Can't believe I had that right.
That was good.
That was good.
I just love that stat because it was really funny to me at the time because I was like, wow, it was every hero picked, and so I ran the numbers, and it was almost true. Every hero was picked except for the poor Sacred Warrior. So continuing on through the draft, I'm still picking very solid heroes. Visage, this hero that really was originally sort of a toy hero of a couple teams in the Western scene. Then all of a sudden you see more and more and more teams pick it up in the Eastern scene. It started to get picked up by teams like MUFC first, and MUFC, VG, a few other teams sort of debuted it, and then it just exploded. And now everybody loves this Visage, and it's because even though the patch changed a lot of heroes, it didn't really change at least so far, the strategic overview of the game, more or less. It's still all about frequently you have 3v3. You either have 3v3, so you have aggressive tri-lane against tri-lane, or you have completely uninteractive lanes. And in the 3v3, Visage is king.
Yeah. And on top of that, if in the mid game, if you have someone that can control the Visage properly, there can be so much things you can do with those birds, with those familiars. It is like, I actually think there's still so much extra things that are there that people can try out and such, but I mean, Visage is just a very good hero to have around if you're going to be going heavy mid game. And by looks of Alliance, Lifestealer and Lone Druid, we know that they have liked to safe lane run Lone Druid since the patch, so we'll probably see an aggressive tri-lane with a Visage, a Disruptor, and a Lifestealer there. And that means that the Lifestealer, if the tri-lane is successful, will be ready mid game. If the, well, assuming that Lone Druid is going to get the farm on the safe lane, there will be also there, I mean, mid-game potential for him. So this is all mid-game for Alliance, and you just need a solo mid with that. And we see iCCup banning out the Storm Spirit, knowing that they don't want to face that Nyx Bomb. There's still a Queen of Pain in the pool, though, and that's also one of those heroes that you might not want to face in that regard. But yeah, looking very strong. iCCup, though, they look pretty strong as well. We have a Clockwork. Could be played as support, but already a very strong disruptor in terms of team fights. And I mean, don't mean the disruptor hero, but I mean, his cogs disrupt team fights, basically. Disrupt mid-game. And very strong at that. Magnus also mid-game gyro. If he gets a bit of farm, which is all dependent on that aggressive tri-lane, I think, we'll see him do really well as well. So let's see what the last hero is, because it will decide if it's going to be a safe tri-lane or a jungle hero there together with iCCup.
iCCup still have the option of a hero like, for instance, Chen, which I think would fit into their lineup extremely well. Meanwhile, Alliance, I mean, at this point, they still have quite a lot of selections that they could use for mid. S4 has been playing Queen of Pain again recently. He stopped for a while, but they've sort of reintegrated it. There's still the option of the Dragon Knight if they want extra push. There's still, although Dragon Knight's record has been not that fantastic since the patch changes, actually. You go for Beastmaster, so this is another good option. It's a good lockdown. And in fact, if I'm iCCup, if I'm Gyrocopter, Jackal here, I'm pretty scared of this Alliance lineup. There's so much they can do to you in the lane phase, in the mid-game, basically at all stages. It's just very dangerous to actually be that Gyrocopter. In the tri-lane, they have this pretty crazy combo of if they static field you, Lifestealer will be able to use open wounds. So that's the big change, right? He needs a lot of setup to be able to do open wounds. But Disruptor provides that setup.
Yeah, and also with the glimpse back, we almost always see a fairly early level of glimpse. So that we can indeed see that Lifestealer just getting in range there. And, well, once before, last Monday, Alliance winning versus iCCup. So let's see if iCCup can get some revenge here. I mean, if they get their lineup to work, if that Magnus gets a fast blink, if they have Jackal getting good farm, they still have they have a very good lineup. They can split push very effectively with Mag if it goes into late game as well. Though you do have that window of opportunity where iCCup can be ahead, but if you go very late game, you've got and a Lone Druid and a Lifestealer, and then it will get tough for them.
Yeah, I mean, I like both teams' lineups. I think they both came up with pretty strong combinations. But overall, I have to say I like Alliances a little more, just because I can see very easily their path to victory, whereas iCCup's is a little more complicated. It involves good RPs and really good farm on a Gyrocopter that's going to face a lot of pressure.
True, we have got Lone Druid. Admiral Bulldog's most played hero, 73% win record. It's
crazy.
Very crazy.
I think it's still, even post-patch, it's been very good. Because, of course, it changed some things. It made... There's more of a game plan to go up against the Lone Druid, but he's still extremely, extremely strong.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, Admiral Bulldog was playing Lone Druid before that Armlet got real hot on that bear, so...
Yep.
He already was owning with it. He already was the Admiral Bulldog of Lone Druid before that time, so he just continues being a right now, even with the change. We've seen a lot of different builds. We've seen Maelstroms, and what's people saying?
Don't worry about it. Nothing too interesting.
Is Villa not going to DreamHack? Because shout out to hotels in Jönköping. That's of course where DreamHack Summer is at.
So why do you think he's not? I think he's going.
He's never been before.
Oh, well, I don't know. Should we introduce the teams while we're paused, I guess?
Yes, we will. We also have the admin ask, or villain asking for Gogo Doda. But yeah, Loda on the live feeder for Alliance. Aki on the micro-intensive Visage, of course. EGM on the Disruptor. Bulldog playing his signature Lone Druid. And of course S4. He'll be taking the Beastmaster mid and going for a fast bottle.
Looking up towards iCCup on the Dire, so we're not 100% sure what their lanes are just yet, but it looks like most likely they're going to run the safe tri lane. We just Zik on the Shadow Demon, always want to fly on the Clockwork, Jackal on the farming Gyrocopter, which leaves Mag probably splitting his time between off lane and, well, he can stay in the off lane for a while as the Nature's Prophet, and then Resolution on the Magnus mid. I'm almost thinking one thing that iCCup could try to do would actually be to dodge the opposing tri lane and just put this try against the Lone Druid if possible. I think that would be now that you can actually do things against the bear. It's almost worthwhile to try to not face up against that big combo that they have in Alliance have in their tri lane.
Yeah, they do have a very safe tri lane though, so it wouldn't be that big of an issue. And
That's
of course, people can vote.
Cogs.
You can vote if you think iCCup will win or Alliance will win. ! Vote and then the team name of your choice. Remember, it is case sensitive, so make sure you get those capitals correctly in there. Even though iCCup didn't have any capitals, I believe, in this one. Well, aggressive tri lane. I think Alliance they do have like that glimpse, which is their only real thing they can use to put Lifestealer in range of that, together with the slow of the Visage, which he actually picked up first, so Gravesteel picked up first by Aki. But there's not any solid disable.
There's not a solid disable, like there's not much in the way of stuns, but I do think that if they just put up, like they Grave Chill and then they put a kinetic field up, it's pretty likely that the kinetic field does lock the person in, and then that makes it pretty easy for the Lifestealer to walk up and open wounds. I mean, kinetic field is actually a pretty small radius, so at that point, once Lifestealer just walks up to the border of the kinetic field himself, there's pretty good chance that he's able to land it. I like EGM, that EGM has the mount cosmetic. It's such a cool disruptor cosmetic, the bird mount. He hasn't played. He clearly hasn't played Disruptor that much, though. Take a look at the number of kills on his. This is funny. You can check out how many times a person's played a hero just by their cosmetics. So his Strange Storm Thrasher. Either he got this item recently, or I don't know.
It's not such an old item, actually.
Oh, is it a relatively new item?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was in one of the later. It is in the mushroom chest.
Oh, really? It's a mushroom item. Okay.
Yes.
Well, maybe I'll open my 750,000 mushroom chests to find out.
Well, you have to be fast because there's already a new chest on the deck, and there's gonna be keys out of it next Thursday.
Right. Well, now you can get the keys for the old chests.
Yeah, I know.
Not that I would ever get any keys.
It's like if you want to send out, like, if you want to pick up a chest anyway, pick up a key. You'd rather do that for your most recent chest, right? Because it's the newest ones.
I guess so.
Nice
I'm not that familiar with key psychology. We might have a clash, actually. Interesting that Alliance are wandering into the jungle from this angle.
Yeah, walking up the high ground without vision. They find a couple of people. Won't be able to open up on them just yet, though.
Always want to fly picks up cogs.
Yeah, and we see that Disruptor hasn't picked up any skill just yet. Very smart. He's going to sit here until the 30 seconds are gone. Yeah, there he goes. But he doesn't really know yet if Glimpse or Kinetic Field or even Static Storm or Thunderstrike is best here for the level 1. Maybe he can get a kill with the Thunderstrike. He actually picks it up right now. Thunderstrike.
Yeah. Thunderstrike got buffed. It's really good damage now, honestly. It's like good harassment because it's AoE too. So against the 3v3, you're forcing them to position themselves in an awkward way because they have to stand apart so it doesn't AoE. And it does good damage, so it's a pretty solid pickup.
In the meantime, we have some hassle in the mid lane. In theory, though, like Resolution here. Did you? Yeah, you did. Never mind. Resolution here should be okay up against the Beastmaster. We see some harassment from both sides, but because the matchup is fairly even, it is actually more volatile than another tri-lane would be, purely because both things, you know, both think that they are even. So they might be able to get a kill and might be able to get ahead, try to get ahead of your opponent. 4 last hits for both now, though, so so far even as we see EGM just placing a very aggressive ward right there on the top lane. Gonna keep an eye on this aggressive tri-lane here for Alliance. And for iCCup.
I wouldn't mind seeing Resolution actually pick up a rank in power soon, maybe at level 4. So the level 1 skewer at rank 2 is useful just in case people try to rotate and kill you. But having that in power will let him harass Beastmaster quite a bit, because keep in mind both of these heroes need to crow, and crowing is a little less efficient these days, of course, since you can't. Carrying a no charge bottle is now 30% slower, I think, so.
Yep. I like that, like, the block was done by body blocks, right, on the bottom lane. Oh, there's the slow, wolves wanna fly, will be fine though. A flag cannon from Jackal actually will force them back. I like that he picked up that early level flag cannon. But we just think he tried to counter ward the ward from Alliance, but Alliance didn't place a ward. Alliance just stood there.
Yeah,
and
they body blocked. It's actually pretty smart because it's a no cost way of actually getting that creep block. And so far, I have to say Alliance doing a little better as far as laning goes. So Loda doing just fine in the tri-lane, actually has a few denies, whereas iCCup don't. And if you look towards the bottom, Bulldog is taking control of this lane very early, and this becomes an unwinnable lane for Nature's Prophet around level 5. So to be winning it already at level 4, basically, is pretty strong.
Yeah, he has to be careful because Bulldog indeed almost at the level 5, and then Mag will have to go into the jungle, and they'll have to accept that they will be up against a lone druid who is pretty farmed later on. And the only hope that they then have is to at least win the top lane, at least win the tri-lane here. Or at least not lose it. Oh, disruption goes up. They might want to try it. Here comes the cogs as well. Lock EGM in. The open wounds up and almost want to fly, but the kinetic storm, kinetic field, it locks everybody in, but EGM will be the first one to go down still. Always want to fly with the kill, but not worth it as Visage takes down Jackal on the gyrocopter. So that is Aki getting himself a return kill. First blood still goes to the support, still goes to iCCup, but losing your carry for it might not be the most ideal thing ever. They do burn out all the mana from Aki though, which is actually quite decent to do.
It is. Visage is very mana intensive, so any mana that you can waste is times that you're not getting killed. But they do get first blood. The trade-off is losing the gyrocopter, and you can already see the kinetic field providing that fairly easy setup for Alliance to land all their spells. The only thing is, yeah, it's the mana intensiveness. They're going to have to just spam clarities or get more courier delivery to actually be able to sustain fights in this lane, whereas iCCup, their spells are all actually really cheap. Gyrocopter, 1 mana pool worth of Shadow Demon is enough for like 3 or 4 clashes. And Clockwork, he's gonna go home, come back, and his spells are pretty cheap too.
Yeah, and his cogs, of course, make sure that there's gonna be even more mana burned on the opposing team.
Yes.
As we do have level 5 upon Bulldog, so entangles galore if he is lucky. If the bear is lucky, he's already looking for it. Doesn't find it with that one hit, unfortunately for him. But yeah, you see Mag, he will be having a tougher time. And I'm surprised he's still not in the jungle. We may be thinking he's can still do something, or maybe want it to go wrong once before he goes, which is not really ideal.
Well, the lane's pretty close to his tower right now, so when it's close to your tower, you're pretty safe, because even the bear can't really stand up to the tower for too long. But once the lane comes back towards Bulldog's tower, I see Mag, yeah, starting to go jungle, or maybe a TP over to try to get a kill.
Yeah, that would actually be the best thing, I think. TPing towards the top lane to make a difference there, because they can't really afford to lose this top lane, because they're already losing bottom lane, and middle lane is not really being won either. I mean, we've got 27 for 4 last hit for Resolution and S4 on 31 for 9, so last hits even S4 a bit ahead. Both are level 6, by the way, so be ready for some roars and maybe also some RPs there, but they can't afford to lose the top lane. It is just not possible. So I mean, of course it's something different to win it than to lose it. You can play even, but even playing even is not really something that you want to be doing right now.
Right, absolutely. I think so far they're actually doing okay. Magnus is really never going to win his lane. He's never going to just completely dominate. It happens once in a blue moon, but it's very, very rare. He's just not the kind of hero that destroys a lane. He's the hero that does okay in a lane and then is able to rotate. I feel as though now that they have RP, now that Nature's Prophet has reached a pretty decent level, they can probably win sort of small to medium-sized engagements, and so probably that's what they're going to seek to do. As soon as maybe Magnus gets at least Arcane Boots, maybe, I don't know if he's going to wait for Blink Dagger. I think no. Yeah, he's TPing over.
Yeah, and he has got that Invis rune as well, so we'll be able to use that and make a splash with it, though there's already a sentry ward around there, and he's walking right past it, so they did see him. And Alliance hide behind their tower. Resolution will sit there waiting, but let's see how long he has to wait before he's gonna go back bottom, or mid rather, to be up against S4. S4, by the way, he did pick up mana boots. I like this. Normally we don't really see mana boots on the Beastmaster, I believe.
EGM, that'll be first.
We already had first blood, but that was...
Sorry, but yeah.
Solo man RP on Disruptor, wow.
Yep. Might as well.
I really thought they saw that with the ward and wouldn't go in, but oh, Disruption, low, that might be in some trouble. Here comes Always Wanna Fly. Misses the cogs though, and there goes a Rage in the open wound. We just think he has to run out. He has his Disruption on cooldown. He's getting blocked by his teammate. Rocket Barrage still doing a lot of damage. Ends up still taking loadout, which is actually quite nice. But in return, they lose Jackal. Aki will fall afterwards, and maybe Always Wanna Fly can clean this out. But having a bit of a tough time. The Glimpse didn't do that much to help out EGM. He doesn't. Well, he does have a TP. Kinetic Field will hold him safe for a little while, but we just, it comes back in. The Flare will finish him off, and in the end, it's a wipe on the side of Alliance. And iCCup, they take 2. Though the downside is, I mean, both the carries died. I guess iCCup coming out ahead there, having their carries still getting some experience from kills, while Loda didn't really get anything.
I would say that iCCup comes out ahead on that. They get more kills. They killed Loda earlier than Jackal died, so even though Jackal died, you see that he's, you know, he's doing okay for himself. He's gonna have his, I guess he's going for Power Tread, so this is fine for a little bit of early attack speed, maybe a little bit of extra HP. And yeah, I thought that was a well put together fight from iCCup. Mag participating, not by TPing over, just by using that ultimate, but actually was pretty key to just get that little bit of extra damage, especially considering Resolution had already, I mean, he had already left the lane.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess, I mean, EGM, he died twice in a row there. That's pretty tough to take as a support. Very low on gold, doesn't have boots yet, and we'll probably have to wait for that a little while longer, as a trial lane doesn't really give you money, unless, as a support that is, unless you are, nice board placement next to the sentry board, but unless you are actually getting a lot of kills, and even though they are getting kills, not getting as much as iCCup at the moment.
One thing that iCCup are doing, which is interesting, is they're kind of pushing the lane a bit intentionally by using Flak Cannon, and the reason they're doing this is they always want to keep Alliance's 3 members at pretty low HP, so they're using Flak Cannon as a pure harassment tool, more or less. Oh, they're gonna go for Loda again. Disruption
is there. Kinetic Field might try to help out. The Glimpse from Always Wanna Fly hits on par, and that might actually save Loda's life. Never mind! Never mind! S4 comes in though, the Roar already on cooldown, and he tries to run away for his life right now. EGM will be able to get away. Nature's Prophet also wanted to TP, and actually he's not here at all. Resolution looking for an RP, can't find it. In the meantime, Aki will still get picked up, and Alliance, they're losing heroes left and right. There is still your RP, and that is going to be S4 dead as well, and that is everybody dying apart from Bulldog, who's trying to take the tier 1 tower in return for his entire team getting slaughtered top lane.
Yeah, I mean, Sheever, we talked about the fact that that iCCup have a more powerful lineup for this period of the game as far as clashes go, and Alliance seemed very willing to just allow iCCup to have the clashes that they want, which I have to say is kind of a mistake, because as you can see, the last team fight didn't go well. This one didn't go well at all. It went very, very, very poorly, and so Alliance end up, they only trade a tower. They might get Jackal, maybe? No, these stuns won't make a difference. Nobody's close enough. So they're really letting Resolution and Mag give their team the tools that they want from them, and which is rough. Really, the only person I would say that's doing really well in Alliance right now is Ake and maybe Bulldog. Like, Ake has had a great Visage game.
Am I crazy, or did Mag actually not participate in the fight and only send through his ulti?
No, the first fight he didn't participate. The second fight he came in, he used Sprout on S4 as S4 tried to get out.
Ah, cause it's like, oh, he's gonna get roared at open wound if he's dead.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was a really good gank.
Really nicely done. We do have the infest up a lot as well. So one thing that I would hope that we are gonna see a bit more here today is infested lifestealers in hogs, because that's cool.
I like them in birds, man.
The familiars?
Oh, no. Like the actual bird, the Beastmaster bird.
Yeah, the hog. I said that.
Oh, I thought you said the... I'm so sorry. I thought you meant the hog as in the boar.
It's a hog.
That's totally my misinterpretation. I'm so sorry.
I would say boar otherwise. I
That's
don't know
fair.
that word
That's
for
fair.
boar.
Oh, it's... No, forget it.
Not that advanced in English.
So Bulldog, he went Midas first. So it is this carry lone druid, and that makes me think probably Radiance. And he's about... Well, he has 1400, but he's going to get it 20-ish minutes at this rate, maybe even a little faster. Actually, no, faster.
Yeah, we'll be at a very decent rate. He's not being shut down at all. And that's something that iCCup, they're kind of profiting from now, as in he's not participating in the fights either. So iCCup is winning these fights 5-on-4. But they have to keep winning them to make sure that they get ahead while they let still Lone Druid farming, because it's a dangerous thing. No matter if it's Edmure Bulldog or another Lone Druid, you do not want to have that Lone Druid free farming, and that's what they think as well. So they have smoked up, they have got the RP up, they've got a disruption, and a Demonic Purge and a hook shot, and they are looking for a kill. And they are looking for the kill on the bear and his master bear. Disruption gonna be there already. Soulcatcher as well. Nice entangled still though, but it doesn't matter. The RP will be there. Bulldog will be brought down. And nobody coming in time to help out. We did have EGM around there and Aki, but they weren't prepared. They weren't around, and that's a good kill for iCCup. It's just I mean, they don't shut him down that much.
Well, it's a very good kill. When you know the guy's going Radiance, it's so fantastic to find that pickup wherever you can. Even if it doesn't set him back that much, every single minute that the Radiance comes later, the better it is. And I gotta say, this is like 3 fights in a row where I'm just shocked. I think Mag is getting really favorable Wrath of Nature bounces somehow. Like, the Nature's Prophet Ultimate is dealing much more damage than you would expect, so I think every single time it's landing on one of its last bounces, which is of course uncontrollable. I mean, you point it at a place other than the place where you want to shoot it, obviously, but still, it can directly bounce to the people you want to hit, or sometimes it can bounce around the map before, and I think both times it's hit pretty late.
EGM, why are you here? Glimpse back resolution though, but always want to fly. Still chasing Mac here as well. EGM trying to TP out, should be able to do just that though. The Sprout won't stop him from doing that, and I mean, he was very far out there, but didn't get punished for it in the end.
It's a really nice escape, honestly. Both the glimpse and the kinetic field used in very smart ways to let him get out.
Yeah, we do have blink daggers all over the place. Its resolution picks one up, but also S4 on this Beastmaster has got a blink now. And I was talking during the draft about, you know, I said Storm Spirit and I said Queen of Pain as Nace bombs. S4 now is one as well with just a blink dagger. He can blink himself in while infested and of course go in on someone. But they'll have to now realize that resolution also will have that blink. Well, they don't see it just yet, but when he does have it, I mean, I think iCCup, they're not gonna give up pressuring Alliance right now.
No, I don't think so. And Alliance, interestingly, this Blink Dagger choice on Beastmaster, I think they still feel, I mean, this is a very pro-initiation. Like, you feel that you can catch the other team out very, very confidently and actually cause just random kills all over the map. They've already made one happen on Nature's Prophet, but to make the Blink Dagger investment worth it, they pretty much have to get favorable engagement positions, which so far, they haven't been able to find, which is not to say they won't start finding them.
Yeah, we're talking about finding things. Alliance is looking for something. They do have that blink up on S4, and they will try to get a kill. The support's following S4 around. They will find Jackal. That's the one that they would gladly take. He did deny the tower, though, but the roar is there, and that is going to be no hope Jackal. With Aki in the kill. Oh, blinking. RP. Shockwave scored through the kinetic field of Static Storm. Really nicely done. Just in time. Beastmaster goes down. EGM wastes his ulti. Does Glimp back, always want to fly, but Aki's still in a lot of trouble with that. Demonic Purge coming off from We Just Nice bird stuns. Slowing the enemy down with a blink forward resolution, making that blink really work for him. And the slow now giving Aki the movement speed that he needs to get away. And these birds perfectly aimed stuns to make sure that that is a safe visage.
Those are pretty shockingly good stuns, actually, from Ake there. Really, really excellent. 2 sets of stuns used by the birds to make sure that he could escape, and that's just excellent familiar use. Not to mention, yeah, the second set of familiars does good damage when it's fully stacked.
Yeah, and Alliance losing half of their HP of the tier 1 tower. Of course, the tier 1 tower mid still went down as well, I mean, but it was the night, so we have to take that into account. There is also a tier 1 tower top dead, so we have got even towers in terms of actually taken towers and 1 tower tonight on the side of iCCup. So far, the goal is looking in favor of Alliance, still 2k in favor, and that we can, you know, I think Alliance can say thank you to that for Admiral Bulldog, because all the advantage that they have is in that bear. The supports are behind compared to the other supports of the opponent team.
Yeah, I mean,
smoke from Alliance.
The nice thing with these blink initiations from S4 is even if Alliance are behind on kills, as long as they keep killing Jackal, the Lone Druid Bear is going to rocket ahead because he's had much more free farm.
Yeah, I like this smoked bird, by the way, the smoked hawk. There is an infested lifestealer sitting in S4 as well, so if they don't catch someone with this bomb, then they are going to be far away from home. And look at that invisible resolution. They don't see it though. Smoke will be popped off probably. Yeah, there it goes. But doesn't matter anymore. They didn't get anything. They didn't get anywhere. They will still try though. They'll go mid, but they won't see resolution. They'll see Jackal, the one that they want to go for. Oh wow, resolution. Now jumps in. RP. There's the infest out. Skewer though. Down to the cooldown. Roar hits up on Weejazik, and the cooldown actually misses. Resolution trying to get away from that place. S4, Nature Prophet Ultimate bouncing around as Aki cleans up Resolution, and I think Jackal, together with Mag, will clean out S4 here as well. In the meantime, supports fighting supports. Always want to fly, getting locked back. Hey, Admiral Bulldog joining the fight. Gets himself a bit of assists here going. As 3 people on iCCup go down, they lose S4. But they gain way much more in return for that. And of course, that was the first fight that Admiral Bulldog was actually involved in. Gets himself 1 assist. And will now go on to the tier 2 tower mid already.
Yeah, a really excellent fight overall from Alliance there. Even though the Static Storm didn't connect, they just managed to surprise iCCup with just how many people they had there and how coordinated they were for that fight. And you end up with Jackal Jackal and Mag going on a trip to actually kill S4, while the rest of their team just gets pretty much slaughtered.
Yeah.
And that brings Loda all the way back into this game, actually, participating in all those kills. Now, FaZe boots drums, and on the way to his next item. Is that actually a full armlet? Yeah, it is a full armlet.
Yeah, all of a sudden his net worth is actually higher than that of Jackal, so really worth it fight for them. And of course also with that fight, we did see Bulldog picking up the relic for the Radiance already, so that's gonna be a Radiance really soon for him, as he's actually losing some Midas time by the looks of it. But oh well, that happens.
Yeah, but
sometimes.
he'll have that Radiance right around that 20-minute mark that we were talking about. So it's pretty good timing, honestly, especially. Considering he did get ganked once. If he hadn't gotten ganked, probably you would see him just finishing it up right now, but even so, it's a very fast Radiance.
Yep. And with that, he'll be involved in more fights. I mean, we already saw him rotating mid for this one, and that one didn't really go so well for iCCup. And those fights, those RPs are going to be having a lot of value on them, because if Resolution doesn't land his RPs, they don't stand a chance in those team fights, because Jackal is not ready to team fight yet. He doesn't have the farm.
Yeah, he really just... I mean, he's going for BKB, which I think is absolutely the correct choice here. So it's pretty smart, but it won't give him damage. I mean, their damage will still mostly come out of using combos with the Wrath of Nature, the Reverse Polarity, Skewer, Shockwave, and that's enough for now. But as this Lone Druid gets bigger and bigger, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, and we see iCCup already waiting for their opportunity to go in. They still have Jackal farming a bit, but the rest isn't trying to farm. It's just trying to create map control for them, maybe. They have got the Roshan pit warded, so maybe they want to have that. And, yeah. Bulldog's choice of item goes to the Radiance, as it has been his main choice since the patch. That is complete, so very nicely done indeed, around that 20-minute mark, and a very good time on that.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, especially after that last team fight, Alliance, I think, are pretty firmly in control of the game. It doesn't mean that iCCup can't win. I think good team fight... Oh, man, that's a big Static Storm.
S4 blinks himself in, Infest out, Jackal already dropping, Weejazik going down, Always Wanna Fly gets glimpsed back with the open wounds on. And that is Always Wanna Fly, also dead. And 3 heroes on the floor. They just wanted to try and take a tier 1 tower, but Alliance, they came prepared. They just took 3 kills. I mean, they didn't get Mag, they didn't get a Resolution, but they did get Jackal. So 1 core and 2 supports And that is a BKB very far set back for Jackal, and they will take a tier 2 from this as well.
I think they can even push farther, frankly. I think if they want to, they could even try put in the thesis on high ground. They probably won't because they're a fairly conservative team in that respect, but they are way ahead. And this actually, this Blink Beastmaster in combination with Infest pop-out has now won them several fights. I mean, it's been very effective because iCCup, they've been out of position a lot after the early game, frankly. Like, they've been consistently not positioning properly, including that big team fight where you saw Gyrocopter and Nature's Prophet chase off after one player. Just let the guy go. Like, you have a much more important fight to worry about. And Disruptor is a hero also that really punishes bad positioning, so that's what happened in that last little engagement as well.
Yep, and we do have another denied tower, so in terms of the advantage that iCCup got by denying their own mid tower, it's now gone because the same thing happened for Alliance. As yeah, they're playing fairly conservative. I thought for a second there that they were trying to go for Roshan, but for now just doing what they want to be doing, and we're probably gonna see Loda and S4 jumping around very soon again, as we do have a smoke up from iCCup. Just 4 though. They're gonna fight without mag, or at least they're gonna initiate without mag. Blink forward, doesn't get anything just yet. Has that haste rune, gets glimpsed back though. Tough for you. And that's gonna be the. Are they gonna try for Roshan right now then? Because that doesn't seem like a smart thing to do. Because I don't know. It is a plan B.
They can't
but
rush.
No, they can't. Not with everybody of Alliance sitting mid. And I do mean everybody. Like all 5 are sitting mid.
One cool thing, Bulldog, he had that Ring of Health that he bought, or sorry, Ring of Regeneration that he bought very early before he started Radiance, eventually converting that into Vladimir's offering. So he has that complete now, and this is an interesting little combination here, basically. So he's got the very carry-ish item of the Radiance, but the very support-ish item of the Vlads, and it's a great combo. Here comes S4 and Loda again.
Yeah, looking for a roar, can't find it though. Cooldown comes Giant Jackal, completely isolated. He is so gone.
Positioning again.
Yeah. And that wasn't even a roar used.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Mag is still split pushing though. Something. He's able to push down the tier 2 top and now going for the tier 1 bottom.
They want a pincer, but they don't have the people. Like, without Gyrocopter, they simply don't have the manpower to make this pincer work. Like, always wanted to, on a fly, wanted to hook in from behind as they assailed the tier 2, but losing the Gyrocopter made that. I mean, it was basically not possible.
No, and that was just poor positioning and kind of tough to deal with. And Alliance, I feel like they're kind of being gentle on iCCup here, because I think they could have gone high ground. Maybe they would have lost one bear, perhaps, if you just set your bear on the tower. But that tier 3 tower might have actually gone down, because as you said, they can't really fight without Jackal.
Yeah. So they have the BKB now done for Gyrocopter. This gives them the ability to at least get through some of the damage that's being thrown out by Visage, Disruptor, and that's part of why he's been dying so quickly. The problem with this is Roar and then Bear and Lifestealer on you will still kill you. Like, he needs even more stuff past this, basically. They may get Ake, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
RP,
well,
wow.
they will even use an RP on him. Well, if that wouldn't get the kill, I don't know what would. Let's see if they can get the birds, though. Because that's, of course, I mean, that's half of the hero of Visage, but they won't even try. It's too late anyways. But maybe without the visit, nah, they still can't go for Roche. And especially not since that RP is now down. And Blink forward and Roar up, and Jackal hooks it in for Always Wanna Fly, trying to help out with the cogs there. Ends up helping out a lot there, with the Force Staff also being used, allowing Jackal to get away. Always Wanna Fly will still get picked up on the sidelines, as we see Bulldog looking for a chase. He doesn't have his bear ahead of him, though. In the end,
really
1-for-1 trade, but they do save Jackal this time, and his BKB is untouched.
It's definitely fantastic that they managed to not lose the Gyrocopter again, because a 6th death for your carry it's so painful. The thing is, without Clockwork's actually pretty key to any sort of plan to do anything in the Roshan pit. So without him, I suspect they may try to blink Resolution down, but it's still really iffy. There's a Beastmaster watching this. Yeah.
We also
With
have,
Clockwork, maybe they could have done it, but without him, it's not really possible.
No, and the RP, of course, still on cooldown as well. It's just really tough that you can't take a fight. Then I mean, that's your to go to fighting ability. That RP has to hit, and then you kill everybody that's in it, and you back off. and wait for Alliance to make a mistake or something like that. In the meantime, Mag is also helping them keeping themselves in the game because Mag is split pushing really nicely. We have got the tier 2 tower on the top lane, of course, that we had going down earlier already. And he's just creating some more control for his team, and forcing Alliance back to the lanes that he is pushing out is really a help. But on the other side, you do have that bear sitting there with his Radiance aura, and counter pushing against that is pretty tough.
It's very tough, and even in an engagement or a high ground attempt, this bear, the fact that it provides that armor aura of the Vlads is also very useful for Alliance. Armor, especially early on before Gyro gets a lot of farm, is so useful against him because obviously everyone's getting hit by the flat cannon, so if you have an armor aura that can countermand that, that's very, very, very useful.
Yeah, now with the Maelstrom on Loda, he's doing better and better. He is still ahead of the Gyrocopter, obviously, but also now ahead of a Mag. And Gyrocopter is actually pretty far behind. He is well, of Nature's Prophet, for example, he is 1.2k gold behind of Mag. And Mag has had a pretty tough lane on that bottom lane at the start. Of course, he has a Hand of Midas, so that helps a lot. But it's still, it's so tough. They're fighting uphill right now.
Yeah,
It's
basically.
a tough battle.
I actually expect Alliance to start fighting uphill pretty soon as well, but more literally uphill rather than metaphorically. Because honestly, I mean, even if you look at, they have a mechanism, and iCCup has a buckler. Like, Always Wanna Fly only has the buckler piece, and he's still about 1,200 gold away from finishing out that mechanism for themselves. So Alliance basically have all the control they could want. BKB for Magnus, again, the Static Storm is just going to completely screw you, so you absolutely need that RP available. The RP is part of why Alliance have been a little reticent to go high ground, because of course that can ruin your day in all sorts of contexts, but I think they're fine, and they'll have the Aghanims for S4 soon, which, combined with the range that... Basically, your effective range becomes insane with the Blink and the Aghanims.
Oh, Always Wanna Fly. He TP'd in towards the top lane and got glimpsed back all the way towards the bottom lane, and they jump in, they roar, nice disruption to try and help out. Jackal turns on his BKB but gets entangled, can't get away. Loda gets solo man RP, but there's not enough damage to go through. And iCCup, they cannot defend their racks. Resolution trying to skewer some people back, but all of a sudden without his BKB, he's quite squishy, gets an entangle, will end up going down. He's the only one that goes down so far. With the hook shot in, Always Wanna Fly back in this, gets glimpsed back once again. Can do it once, can do it twice. We did have the Aegis going down, I believe, I heard that, but that is it. And oh, Loda going for Jackal. Lightning's going through from that Maelstrom, and he gets the kill. Double kill for Mag. In the meantime, as well, as he picks up people at the back end, he was all the way at the back, picks up the Beastmaster as well, and is able to get himself away. But in the meantime, he can't stop Bulldog from bashing those racks with his bear, and that is one lane of racks down, and Bulldog rotates. Let's see if he can take down another tier 3 tower, as Loda and Eki are still alive as well. Buyback from Always Wanna Fly, wants to be here, needs to be here. And he hasn't been able to do anything because he keeps getting glimpsed back.
Yeah, these glimpses have been just incredibly annoying if you're Clockwork. Just completely sort of shutting him out of these later team fights. And honestly, Alliance, I mean, now taking 3 Raxes, they've shown incredible facility on all these heroes that maybe they, you know, they're not... Some of them aren't their most played heroes. Obviously, Lone Druid is Bulldog's hero, but we don't see EGM on Disruptor that much. We don't see Akia on Visage as much as we see him on heroes like Chen, but the play from all these players has been really, really strong. After a rocky lane phase, Alliance have just basically dominated every aspect of the game. Superior positioning, superior initiation, all of their abilities used to the best effect, and iCCup just finding themselves trampled over in the second half of this game.
Yeah, and we just saw Mag, he tried to go for one of those return kills, like, people back off, let's hex someone and kill that one off, but he actually hexed the familiar. So that was kind of sad. He did end up killing up NS4 and EGM though, so he got some kills for his team. Didn't end up working that well because, of course, I mean, they still lost 3 Raxes there, but yeah, at least doing something there to help out a bit. We do have a glimpse back for Always Wanna Fly, the hookshot misses. Looks like Loda getting turned into a piglet, gets RP as well, another Solomon RP, a roar comes up for Mag though. Static Storm, Kinetic Field, Loda opens up on Mag, Mag ends up going down to Aki, Jackal, and Always Wanna Fly locked in, and their cogs not really helping there, Always Wanna Fly. ends up going down as well as Jackal, and that is 3 on the sidelines. Magpie is back though. He knows that if there's no split push going on, soon there's gonna be a whole lot more down than just Rax on his base.
Yeah, the Alliance, this could be the death push here. I mean, winning yet another fight. They just consistently abuse the squishiness of the gyrocopter, which we identified. Really, even in the draft, we identified that Alliance could really prey on this gyro, and iCCup would have to be careful about that. And that's pretty much what Alliance are doing, in fact. Just general champions mentality coming out of them in this game, in my opinion. I mean, they had an early kill deficit, but they knew that no matter what, they could probably outfarm iCCup, simply because Bulldog was getting free farm, and you know that in a vacuum they're going to farm better as a team. I mean, even with the kill deficit, they were never actually behind as far as gold development or XP development of their heroes, so...
Yep, always with the fly, gets glimpsed once more. Hookshot's out, but no can do. There goes Dust. Oh, Mag, you get a run. But that's Mega Creeps right there, and this is the GG. It has to be iCCup. There's no way for them to fight back from this unless all of a sudden there's a gyro with a rapier on the board, and that's not gonna happen. Bulldog is actually the infested one here. Gets a demonic birds up on him. They're still trying to get some kills. Mag in the end goes down. He already bought back earlier, as we see also. We just did going down again. Jackal and Resolution. The last one alive, but we see Resolution running, and I mean, the GG is called. Alliance, they secure themselves a spot to Kiev, because with this win, they have enough points to not be below the top 4 anymore. So they will be going to the Cyber Arena in Ukraine, in Kiev. Land spot secured.
Yeah, I mean, Alliance was playing a really good game, deciding very early on that they were going to abuse the fact that their positioning and farm would probably be better. And so that's sort of, you get the blink on the Beastmaster, you put the Lifestealer in him again and again, and you just make that call that we can probably set up better fights than this opposing team can. And they were right, so right after the early lane phase, they just really took complete control.
For sure. We're gonna have a total of 4 games today to watch. If you were here yesterday, I did tell you that there was gonna be Mousesports vs Alliance, but that game actually got postponed until tomorrow, 1600 CEST time. But today, we'll still see Virtus.pro taking on TCM, then Fnatic taking on TCM, and then Z-Rage versus StarLadder. So those will be the remaining 3 games that we'll see tonight. So Virtus.pro taking on TCM will be first, so stick around for that one, as the game is officially starting in 15 minutes, but we might have a bit of a earlier start since we're done earlier as well. So stick around for more Dota 2 action for StarLadder Season 6, day number 23 of the 27 days that we have in total. So next Friday is the last day of the StarLadder group stages, and then we will guaranteed know who goes to those LAN finals in Kiev Cyber Arena. Stick around.